Hi guys, welcome back to the 401 Files. I'm back out here again on the east coast of the UK at a place called Flambourgh. Now I've been here a few times, I've brought you guys along with me many times before here on the channel, one of which I had my very first UFO sighting in this very location. So I'm hoping to replicate that tonight and bring you guys along with me for a sky watch. I've got the laser pointer with me and hopefully we can try and make some contact and have something worth talking about down below in the comments box below. You guys kick back, relax, and enjoy. When the Pentagon released the famous footage of the UFO Tic Tac back in 2021, there were only 144 military reports of UFOs. Since that release, there are now well over 400 reports from all walks of military personnel. Reports from credible people regarding possible encounters with UFOs, making this a significant increase from the previous years gone by. But why do you think that is? The real reason is that once people realise it's safe to talk about these subjects without the fear of ridicule, they will. You would be amazed at just how many people are still seeing these things on a regular basis, but they will never come forward and open up about their experiences because for some people, the fear of ridicule is still too deeply embedded. One thing that we can't allow ourselves to be fooled by is the government's decision to be transparent. Let's not forget, yes, they released the footage of the Nimitz UFO encounter, but that was already leaked all over the internet, leaving them really no choice but to make that statement. Would they have done this had this not already been leaked? And why did it take them 7 years to come clean about their involvement? Let's not forget that shortly after the encounter in 2004, all the radar data was confiscated and many personnel involved were sworn to secrecy. So as you can see behind me guys, this bird hide has been blocked up. The windows have all got wooden panels covering them to stop people getting in there. I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but it's a bit disappointing. I was hoping to get in there and spend the night, but nonetheless, it's still a great place to stand behind and get out of the wind because this wind is really whipping up now off the North Sea and pushing further inland. And to try and film in a way that you guys can hear me, it's near on impossible. So this is going to be a godsend because I can stand behind this now and say what I need to say to the camera, so hopefully you guys have a better chance of hearing me.
Now live, the military saying it has never fired on any of these objects, and that public hearing turned into a private hearing behind closed doors when the military was asked about any underwater discoveries. A lot of these objects are seen splashing into the water, diving into the ocean. The military not wanting to talk about that openly because a lot of their underwater sensors are used for national intelligence gathering. But still, it is a most remarkable day for UFO transparency, with the government now telling all of its pilots, don't be afraid. If you see something strange, talk about it, report it. Nobody's going to laugh at you anymore. For now, we're live here in West LA.
You know, it's amazing when we hear stories about these fighter pilots recording them, or people back, you know, at mission control, some of these radar operators saying that they've tracked these UFO craft traveling in excess of 22,000 miles an hour. That is something that we can't even comprehend. We have nothing that comes even close to that. And if we do, then it's got to be black ops, top secret, undercover technology that we're not releasing. And I can't see that because even the technology that we have today is still hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years off anything even coming close to that. What an amazing sight though, because tracking something at that speed instantly rules out a hell of a lot of things. Something I'm going to mention right here is I've been looking off the cliff face and I've been looking out to the sea, and obviously in the distance you can see these little white things skimming across the water really, really fast. Now they are seabirds, I know that for a fact, but they do look like Tic Tac shapes. They do look like some kind of a craft moving just off the surface of the water really, really fast. And I'm not saying that that's what Commander Fravor and those guys saw during the Nimitz encounters. That's not what I'm saying, because those things were tracked moving at incredible speeds. But what I am saying is, do you think it's possible that extraterrestrials know this, know that seabirds are a common sight out flying low across the water, and therefore design their craft or their drones in accordance? I'll try and grab some footage of some seabirds flying or just skimming across the water, and you would swear off from a distance if I didn't tell you that they were something of unknown origin. just off in the horizon, I can see a few people chasing after each other and pointing something out just down below the cliff. So I'm going to have a walk that way and see what they're all pointing at. I know that there is a lot of seals and you get pods of dolphins that come this way. So one guy has binoculars, maybe that's what they've seen, but yeah, they're all stood on the cliff face now having a look, and it's kind of like the curiosity is getting the better of me. So I've just had to layer up. It's absolutely ice cold, freezing in fact. And luckily I brought my down jacket with me, so I've put that on really quickly now. And I'm just going to sit here on this bench for the next hour or two and wait for the sun to fall below the horizon. At that point, this place will be plunged into darkness. There's not too much light pollution on this area, and it will make, hopefully, for what should be a great night sky watching. I've been keeping my eyes open across the horizon and all around me for that matter, but I've not seen anything untoward just yet. But that could all change at any moment, as I know more than anyone, because when I was last here, we was actually on our way back to the van when things started to really heat up.
Yes, think of what happened centuries ago in Mexico when Montezuma met Cortez. Montezuma of the Aztecs made one of the greatest mistakes of the ancient world. He assumed that Cortez was a god. Now we know, of course, that Cortez was actually a bloodthirsty pirate after gold. But look at what Cortez had. Cortez had the horse. The Aztecs did not. Cortez had steel weapons. The Aztecs had bronze weapons. Cortez had gunpowder. The Aztecs did not. Cortez had the written language. The Aztecs had a pictorial language. And so it was no contest. And so I think that instead of reaching out and announcing our existence and saying, here we are, come visit us for dinner, I think we should stay away and observe. Simply observe them to find out what their intentions are, if they have any, and what their long-term goals are, and what their capabilities are.
So, you seen any UFOs? Good girl. Sit. Sit. You'd have to get down. You'd have to get down. You're a good girl. Oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Where's the UFOs? Where's the UFOs at? You better tell me, ma'am. You know, everything is pretty much against me tonight because it is so cold. I obviously can't have my camera recording the whole time because it'll just drain the battery, and I need to stay here until it gets dark, so I need to reserve some of that battery. But at the same time, if something just appears now and I have to get my camera out really quickly and start recording, my hands are so cold that that's going to be very difficult. You know, when I went away to Cannock Chase as well, you remember the video it was about a year ago now, a year and a bit ago, maybe longer. I was at Cannock Chase and Chris Turner told me that it's almost impossible to capture these lights on video. And they're guys that have tried a lot of times with far better equipment than what I've got. So if I do catch anything, I'll know more than anyone how lucky that is to do that. The unfortunate thing tonight is that I am on my own, and so even if I don't capture something but I do see something, I've got no one to back me up. which you watch tonight will be just full of activity, lots of things going off, and it'll be an amazing night. If it is, I hope that I can capture some of that for you guys. I've had to come sit behind this shed now. I was here earlier on in the day. I wandered off for a little bit, and then I've just decided to come back because everywhere up on this cliffside is quite open, and so you're just getting battered by the wind, and it's so cold, so cold. So as you can see now, guys, it's starting to get dusk, and in half an hour I reckon it will be really, really dark here. I've been keeping my eyes peeled because at any moment those lights could appear, and you've got to be super quick because they don't hang around. But they are here. That's the main thing. They are here. I'm confident of that. I'm positive. For me, it's fact. I've seen them with my own two eyes, and I wouldn't lie, guys. I would not lie. What I saw here was not from this planet. It was bizarre. The capabilities, the agility, the maneuvers, everything about this thing just did not make sense. Or it did not fall in line for the kind of technology that exists today with us humans. It just far surpassed it in every aspect. And I mean, I say that I saw lights, but lights to what? Was it lights that belonged to a craft? Was it lights, some kind of lights that belonged to an energy force or field? I just don't know. But what I know is that what I saw was real, and I can't explain it. I keep thinking now that I see lights off in the distance as I'm talking to you guys on the camera. But yeah, I know that they use clouds as well. That was a big thing that stuck with me, and since then I've heard other people say similar things, that they do use clouds for coverage, for cover. They're here. They are here. Why? I'm not sure. What they're doing, I don't have a clue. But they are here. And wherever they've come from, they're not going back. How do I know this? Because they've been seen coming from this thing here, the ocean. Leaving it, entering it, and large bodies of water in ufology have always been a key indicator. Like large bodies of water and UFOs have always gone hand in hand. Why is that? Well, because we don't really venture down that far. We don't explore much of these areas. It would make the perfect place to set up home on a foreign planet. Creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. I really do hope that I can produce something tonight. I might do some CE5 in a little while. And I'm sorry that I'm stuttering, but my mouth is really, really cold. Okay, so the idea is to try and pitch up as late as possible. I just want to make sure that a few more cars clear out the car park first before I start pitching the tent. And I also need to find a location that is hidden away, really. I don't want any disturbances once I'm pitched up. So I'm just walking around at the minute. Obviously the main objective is to find a location suitable for the tent, but I'm also trying to keep warm because, as I've mentioned, it is really, really cold. Now we've got some beautiful wide open skies, which means that if we are going to capture anything on film, it's going to be in this location at some point, and hopefully tonight, if they show themselves. You know, a lot of the time you can have the right equipment, be in the right location at the right time, and if they don't want you to film them, you won't be able to film them. And for all the skeptics out there, they will be saying, oh well, that's ironic. Unfortunately, yeah, it is. I just don't make the rules. These things are far too high tech, far too quick for my iPhone and my ability to move fast enough. So yeah, we can only do what we can do. But this is the best place to be, and if anything is going to happen in terms of cryptids and UFOs, this is likely going to be the place that it takes place. So yeah, let's sit this one out, and fingers crossed we can capture something. So right now it's just a case of enjoying the night. Just enjoying it, sitting out here in the open, next to the tent. So if it does rain, it's not going to rain. I've checked the forecast, but if anything like that was to happen, I can dive straight into my shelter. And it looks like we've got someone walking down this way. I can see movement up ahead, which is not good because they're walking on a path that will bring them right past my tent. But there's no real reason why anyone should be walking down this way, to be honest. So let's just see if they make it to the end of this track. If they do, it's going to be quite awkward. Although I could ask them about UFOs and see if they are familiar with the strange stories that surround this area. So you wouldn't imagine that there would be anyone out here right now. I mean, it's getting real dark. The time now is about 7:30, 8 o'clock. All the cars are pretty much left. Lily, come. Come, good girl. So yeah, I'm just going to set the camera up on the tripod and record the conversation with this guy, because he is on a collision course with me right now. He's about 200 meters away, but he's definitely going to be on me in the next 5 minutes. So I'll keep the camera recording on the tripod and just see how this unfolds. Are you okay? Okay.
Are you watching for nightlife?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're aware of... Lily, hey, lie down. Some of have you ever heard about the strange phenomena that people report around here? You familiar with that? Lily.
As I say, I'm here in the morning.
Lily.
I'm here at night. I see all sorts of creatures, everything.
Yeah, do you ever see any strange lights in the sky or anything like that?
Once.
Yeah?
Once.
What colour were they?
I won't tell you.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what I see, because people exaggerate a lot. If what I've seen, I couldn't give it an explanation, but it was just strange.
Yeah. I've seen something. The reason I'm here really is because I saw something myself a few months back that I couldn't explain.
Yeah, there are strange things that happens about here, but the thing is, there's no way I can explain for what I see.
Yeah.
And
was that a few years ago then?
No, just the last couple of months.
Oh really?
Well, I've been here for 12 years and I'm here every night.
Yeah.
And I've seen all sorts of things happen here at night.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's quiet listening. You see something strange happen.
Yeah. Me and my brother was down here a few months back, and we saw these lights, and you'll probably laugh when I tell you this, but we saw these really weird lights that came across the sky and then go back on themselves, almost like they were confused. It was definitely not a plane or a drone. There was no noise. And just as that happened, a fighter plane came screaming over, and this thing just shot out to sea. It was out at sea.
I've seen things like that, yeah.
It was out at sea about 10-15 miles within seconds.
I've seen that, yeah.
And
one morning, about 9 o'clock,
yeah.
you see where the boy is at the flashing light?
Yeah.
But that distance roughly, it was about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
The water just came like that, and the thing just, whatever it was, straight into the sky. Sky was completely black.
It came out of the sea, did it?
Sorry?
It came out of the sea?
Oh yeah, the water just went like that, and I photographed it, and I've got it with the thing coming out.
That's incredible. It's amazing. I mean, what I soon learned was that I wasn't the only one that's seen things around here like that.
No, there are strange things goes on, but you can't explain it. I mean, you try to explain it to people, they think you're trying to make things up.
Well, that's it, yeah, that's it. And that's how easy it is. I mean, that's the first guy that's just stumbled across me now. Old guy walking his dog, or elderly guy, sorry, I shouldn't say old. Elderly guy walking his dog. He's been here 12 years. Says that he does the same walk every night, roughly about the same time. And the first thing that I asked him was if he's seen anything strange around here. And he had this incredible story to tell me. I'm not sure how well the camera picked that up because of the wind and stuff. And I'm sorry that I didn't get the guy on camera because the tripod was facing the wrong way. But in a way, that's a good thing because I didn't have his permission. But yeah, what an incredible story. So he said that he came down here. It was about 6 o'clock one morning. And he pointed a buoy out to me that's in the sea, roughly about 800 meters, close to a mile out. And he said that while he was walking this way, something came out of the sea. The water actually parted, and this object, whatever it was, in his own words, he said, just shot straight into the sky. Absolutely incredible. Yet another case, another story from someone here on the East Coast who's experienced something strange. You know, I half expected him to start laughing at me. I half expected him to tell me to move on, thinking I was a poacher or something like that. But what an incredible story. And I'm really, really glad that I kept the camera recording. Like I said, I do hope that we didn't miss too much of that, and it is audible. Got the tent up now. Everything's inside, the sleeping bag, airbed, etc. Everything that I will need for tonight. Torches, spare batteries, etc. It's extremely dark outside now, as you would imagine here on the coastline. I've never camped here before ever, so it's always quite unnerving. Quite excited. I'm not sure how well the lights are going to cope and the video will look in such dark conditions, but we shall see. So I've had a rethink after talking to that gentleman, and he brought it to my attention that there is a game warden that operates in this area and he never misses a beat. So if I was to try and stick this out through the night, I would be prosecuted. With that information, I think it's probably best that I stick this out as late as I can, but then pack the tent down and make my way home. I'm just basically saying that on camera now so you guys know that I've not faked anything here. The plan was originally to stay out all night, but with the risk of being prosecuted, which he said happens quite a lot, he said maybe 3 or 4 a month sometimes, campers and people walking down on the cliff face to disturb the seals, he said they get prosecuted all the time. So yeah, with that information at hand, I'm going to stick it out till about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, do as much filming as I can, and then yeah, wrap this one up. It should be a good film regardless. I think I've got quite a lot filmed. I keep seeing flashes, but it's so dark. It really is dark, and the camera's not great in these low light situations, as I've already mentioned. So if I do see anything, it might just be a personal experience again, which is the most annoying thing about this genre, is that is usually the case. It's always personal experiences. Very rarely do people get great evidence that they can share with the world, and that's no fault of their own, because I can vouch for that right now, right here. It's difficult, very difficult. That's moving very slowly, very slow. quite a fair distance as well. It's nothing like the lights I saw before. You know, when I saw the lights previously, when I was here, it was 4 to 5 lights in a row, really glowing bright ready orange, like an amber. As the night progressed, the temperature became increasingly more cold. I never saw anything more to report that night, but my mind was still reeling over the amazing story that had been shared with me earlier by one of the locals. Just a little after midnight, I could feel my eyes beginning to fall heavy. I decided to pack up my things and headed for the car. The night was still quiet, and as I drove away from the lighthouse, I knew only one thing: they're here. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Give this one a thumbs up, comment and share.